everyone, welcome to today's show. I'm your host, 𝗀𝗲𝗲𝗶, and I'm so excited today to tackle the busy barrier and helping you guys as leaders break it down. As a leader, whether you are aware of it or not, we've been brought up glorifying busy. And this generation before us and before that knew only one way. It's of no fault to anyone. It's simply a way of life that we've really struggled to evolve from, alongside the demands of life and challenges and roadblocks that continue to come our way. Whether it be the cost of living, COVID, technology, I could go on. There's so many different things that have evolved. And as life evolves, we've really struggled to evolve with it when it comes to how we place and where we place busy. Using busy as our brand, our personality, and as I'll highlight today, our barrier. Today I want to share with you the reality of busy, the reality of the busy barrier, and a real life example before sharing 3 tips on breaking down this barrier, breaking down the busy barrier, and empowering our ability to overcome the chaos, shifting your mindset, and I guess reigniting our passion. Reconnecting with those people and passions that matter most to us. So let's jump in. The reality is that busy is everywhere we look. And we've allowed it to become that. As I mentioned, it's our brand, it's our personality, and it's become a barrier. I want to share with you a letter that a friend of mine's child wrote to them. And for those listening to the audio who can't see the letter reads, "Why do you do jobs, mummy? But I love you. You are so pretty. I know you are busy." This friend of mine posted this with the caption, "How cute." And sure, you could be forgiven for seeing the cuteness in it. Or you could see this as an alarming sign towards a landscape that not only do we currently live in, but that we currently accept and that we're accepting to move forward in. This 6-year-old child is writing a letter to her mum, crying out for more time. She's even bribing mum with some flattery. Again, the letter reads, "Why do you do jobs, mummy? But I love you. You are so pretty. I know you are busy." What does this letter highlight? Highlights a couple of things for me. Busy has become an unconscious yet acceptable excuse, and we've placed it right at the top of the priority list. The other thing it highlights is the influence that our language has on the next generation. They're seeing that constant lure of busy. They're seeing that constant challenge. I want you to take a moment to reflect on the connections that matter most to you. How do you want those connections to remember their childhood, their time with you? Think to those times that you're around those people. How is it spent? Do you find yourself distracted by devices? Are you engaged? Is your attention solely in that time? As you think about these things, have you been subconsciously building a busy barrier between yourself and these people and passions that matter most? Have you built one up? Do your loved ones, your close family and friends have to fight to find a way around or over your barrier to get close to you and enjoy your presence in their life? How can we start to knock this down? Well, for starters, it takes some honesty, reflection, and self-awareness. It may be confronting, and I'm sure answering these questions previously, they may have hit home for you a little bit. It takes the regaining of knowledge and understanding, an enhanced focus, and a supportive community to not only go beyond the busy barrier, but to actually evolve beyond it. These tips today aren't pieces of groundbreaking research. In fact, what they are is habits. Habits that we need to form and build on. Trying this for a week and expecting movement, it's highly unlikely. Like you would if you wanted to build muscle. You need to train those muscles, stimulate them, and do it consistently to gain results. That same approach needs to be taken here. And in fact, taken in a lot of aspects when it comes to leadership and our personal development. Tip 1, stop using busy in your language. I want you to let go of it. It's not easy. Busy is not only just an excuse we use, it's a choice. And as established author Tony Crabb reminds us, it's the dumb choice. Listen to this podcast. Choose to do something. The amount of people who actually get cautious about using the word busy around me these days is great. It's not about me being the busy police or looking down on people who are busy, because I was there. I was in this spot. I was addicted to it and used it as an excuse, wore it as a badge of honor, and I used it to proclaim my value. Threw busy into as many conversations as I could. The busier I was, the more valuable I felt. I've been there. I was just lucky I had a great mentor. Now, let us here at Pathrive be your starting point if you don't have one. Let this podcast be your starting point. Breaking down the busy barrier is achievable, but we need to stop utilizing this word and glorifying it in the way that we do, because the next generation, as you can see above in this letter, is already picking up on it and understanding its power as an excuse. Tip 2, decide on what not to do. This can often be easier than deciding what to do. For example, rather than I'm going to limit my phone use, and maybe something like when I'm watching 𝘃𝗄𝗃, I don't have my phone on me. Instead of let's focus on connecting more, and maybe something like during this time, we will not sit and watch TV. Or instead of I'm going to start having breakfast with my girls each morning, it may be I will not start work before 9 a.m. So a little shift in how we think and how we talk. And don't get me wrong, for a lot of people, the what to do might be much easier and more effective. Great. This is just a tip. If that's not working for you, try deciding on what not to do. Tip 3, empower your boundaries. I want you to remember that no is a complete sentence. You don't need to justify things, and particularly if you are planned and strategic in your thinking and planning. If you don't plan, then guess what? You won't move the dial. It's that simple. And we have an earlier episode on setting and maintaining healthy boundaries. Check that out if you haven't already. But once you've set them, you need to empower them and follow through. Focusing on what matters can often be hard, but like anything with prioritization, preparation, and planning, call it the 3 Ps if you will. Prioritization, preparation, and planning, you can and will achieve what you want. For some of you, you might be thinking that I'm talking a whole heap of smack today. And yeah, it's been a little bit more confronting. But the truth often is, whether you need to look for other or alternate avenues to support you on this journey, might be your vision, perhaps your income, there are options. And if you can shift your mindset to overcome the excuses that we allow busy to empower, and you empower the ability instead to stop allowing busy to strengthen those excuses, then I've got no doubt you are capable of not just getting beyond busy, but evolving beyond it. Like all the things that I take you guys through, I've been on this journey myself. And in this instance, for me, financially, I had to look for options. Going down to 4 working days a week so I could have my daddy-daughter day wasn't easy. And it had a financial impact. As well as leaving a corporate job, leadership job that I had a very good salary amongst. I had to change things. I had to look for options. Whether it was driving DoorDash at night for some extra money, calling the bank to see what support was available for our home loan, or even asking my wife for support. There were options there. So don't think that you simply can't because of X, Y, Z. I really want to challenge you to switch that mindset to how can I, and lead with that as opposed to going straight to why you can't do something. I share this with you because I want you to know that you aren't alone on this journey. Whether you are addicted to busy, whether you are in a role that you're not enjoying at the moment, there are people out there in that same position. Don't get me wrong, I loved my previous role. It was just time for me to evolve. And I wanted to have a greater impact on people in the leadership space. But you aren't alone. What additional avenues of support do you need in order to move forward? To move forward beyond this busy barrier and evolve beyond it? Do you need accountability, community? Do you need mentoring? Do you need more time? Do you need tools and strategies to help? In the Beyond Busy pathway, my clients have access not only to myself, but to each other 3 times a week in group sessions. If this is something you need, jump on the link in the show notes and check out the Beyond Busy pathway. Or you can head straight to our website at www.pathrive.com.au. As I've mentioned in previous lessons, episodes, unglorifying busy isn't easy. You're bucking a trend. But it's a fight worth having. Today and every other day, you have the ability to impact someone's life. Most importantly, yours. The choice is within your control. And speaking of choices, remember that busy is a choice. It's the dumb choice. Today, I want to leave you with this question. We've spoken about the busy barrier. We've spoken about the influence that our language has on the next generation. I want to ask you, what impact do you want to have on the next generation? Do you want them to be fighting through a barrier for your time? Or do you want to be providing them an open pathway to it?